Okay. Hi, Keri.
Well, hello. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am very good.
Good. Good. Well, I asked you to be here on the pink couch and be part of the podcast because you have an amazing skill set that I think will help a lot of ladies, especially sweet lifers.
Okay.
And so I wanted to kind of start asking you about Austin Organizers. You own Austin Organizers.
Yes, ma'am.
With your husband.
Yes.
And it's so interesting. You kind of like appeared in my life, and I'm like, oh my God, I love you, and I need people like you in my life. So it's wonderful. But I really don't even know like your backstory. So why did you start Austin Organizers?
Well, my husband and I moved here about 8 years ago to start a church. And we used to own furniture stores when we lived in Oregon. We've had multiple businesses. We've always been entrepreneurial. Something I wanted to do was have an organizing business, but the furniture stores kept us fully busy. And I was always organizing and staging those. And so I wasn't able to ever get it off the ground. And so we moved here, and it was the right time to open Austin Organizers. And so on March 1st of 2020, we opened Austin Organizers. If you're tracking dates, guess what happened 2 weeks later?
Oh no!
So 2 weeks later, the entire world shuts down. And I'm like, well, now
that was
what?
Great.
That was a great 2 weeks. Now what in heck? And I was so sad and I was so depressed. And I told my husband, now what are we going to do? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, nobody's going to let me into their homes. And now they have the time to organize. And so I'm not even needed. And he just looked at me like I was crazy. I get that a little bit. And he said, they're going to need you now more than ever. And he was right. After a couple weeks, once, the uncertainty of everything, I mean, that lasted a long time, but really the phone started ringing because people were like, can you help me? We need to turn this dining room into a classroom. We need to turn this walk-in closet into a makeshift office. This guest bedroom that has become the junk bedroom, now we actually need to use for an office or a classroom or anything. And people they realized they needed to start using every square inch of their entire house. And so it just started getting busy and busier and busier. And I had to start hiring. And now 5 years later, we are slammed. We're always booked out a few weeks. I have a team of 5 looking to expand that. And we just have grown ever since. So what I thought was going to be dead because of COVID, actually, it was really beneficial for us to be able to help people in that season.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So we're talking. You don't have to look at the camera, by the way.
Oh,
we're
good.
Chatting. Yeah, okay. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh, good.
Just pretend like it's not even there.
Okay, you're not there.
No, you're not there. So yeah, that is fascinating. But that is so true because the way we all lived life changed so much in a very short period of time. Mm-hmm. And I bet people felt too like, I have the time now to organize, but they don't. I wonder how many people really do know how to organize.
So that also proved, because you'd hear that a lot, if I only and people really believe that. And I understand. If I had the time, then I would be organized. And again, that's one of the reasons I thought that I wasn't going to be needed. And actually, it's just really not true. I hate to break it to not be, but
it's a lie we tell ourselves.
Yes, it is. If this isn't a passion of yours, if you're not naturally made this way, then even though you feel that it's a time thing, if you have the extra time, it's not going to happen either. It's because that's not what it is. Now, on the flip side, it does not matter how much time I had. I will never do anything electronically. I hate technology. I won't do anything. I will do my little QuickBooks and my little scheduling because I know how to do that and I'll do that. But I don't know how to make a spreadsheet. I don't know how to make a little chart. I don't know how to do that Canva thing. People will send me Google, my kids' teachers, sign up for the school thing. It won't work. I can't. Can you just like put me in? I don't know how to do technology. And it does not matter how much time. The whole world could stop. I could be home all day long and I'm not going to get that technology stuff.
So I think what you're saying is God gave you a skill set. God gives everybody skill sets, and organizing is one of your skill sets.
Yeah.
However, technology is not.
Right.
And you know what you're good at. And so are you insinuating that women need to know what they're good at and stick to what they're good at?
Just like you need to know how to dress your body for the style that works for your body, just like what you teach people. So that's absolutely exactly it. And it's funny because our team, we call it our illness. Like we took our mental illness.
Oh, like your OCD. Okay.
Yes, the extreme level. We took our illness and we thrive at it. We made it our income. So taking what God's given you and using it, because you're so good at that. Whatever He gave you, that's what He created. It comes naturally. It's you come alive when you are teaching how to style clothes. Like, I've never seen somebody just become so alive when you're explaining to women, this is your body shape, this is what looks good, this is probably what to avoid. You are absolutely like full of energy and alive. That's how we feel when we open a garage door and it's like literally a mess and we're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun.
It's like spilling out all over the driveway. And you're like, this is amazing.
Exactly.
Really? Yes. So you find structure in that chaos.
Yeah, because we get to fix it.
Yeah.
And just like the before and afters that you have of helping somebody with their clothing, the before and afters of a beautiful pantry and taking a disorganized closet where there's clothes all over the floor and making it beautiful. And people, my favorite quote on that reel was, oh my gosh, I can walk in my walk-in closet. I'm like, well, walk-in closets kind of were designed to walk into.
Okay, so since you mentioned that, so some of the people who are watching this podcast might not realize, although I think now I can post it to YouTube because it'll make sense. Posting it in pieces makes sense, like on Instagram and Facebook, but I don't know that it always makes sense.
Again, technology, I defer to you.
So I can post them all at once now on YouTube, but there's a reel series that we did together. It was your idea to go through someone's closet and make room for fall inventory. Because as a store owner, you know how retail works since you used to be in the furniture business. Women love fall clothes.
Oh my, hello.
Like they love fall clothes. It's so interesting to me. And I don't know why.
It's my favorite.
That like once that pumpkin spice latte hits that Starbucks, we all start itching for our fall clothes. We want to wear our boots. And it's hilarious because especially where we live here in Texas, we can't wear those things.
Yes, I had to completely switch. The fall wardrobe used to be scarves and tall boots and leggings and the little
all these pretty layers.
Oh, and these cardigans and these cozy sweaters. And that was my whole fall. Now my fall is still the same color scheme, but now it's tank tops and short sleeve shirts. And I'm like, I know. Still get the fall.
So your idea was, because so many people have too much, and that's what you see every day, like helping them manage their too much to make room for the things that would be newer and give their little spark in their fall wardrobe. And so we did a collaboration, and we just released the final reveal yesterday. So it was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
And have you ever done that before? Have you ever filmed what you do?
Oh, I don't do cameras. No, I do not do. They're like, let's do a podcast on camera. And I'm like, oh, who is she?
I don't know why. You're great on camera.
Oh, thank you. But no. But so I have not done that before.
I have never done it as a story like that. So that I told you, one of the things that I was struggling with all the editing was that there were so many holes in the story that we didn't get on camera.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, when people make a movie or a show, like, I'm not a cinematographer.
Right.
I'm not a writer. I don't work in television production or something, I'm just a novice. And it made me realize, like when you watch interviews for actors, they'll say, well, we had to reshoot that. We had to do this again. And it made me realize, because I bet the same thing happens. They get going and it's going so good and it looks great and the lighting's perfect and the sound looks nice. And then when you go back to edit it, you're like, oh, it doesn't make sense though. There's a hole in the story. So I struggled with that, and it took longer than I wanted it to. I wanted it to be like a week's release, but it ended up being like 2.5.
But it built the suspense.
It was fun.
Great.
It was great. Yeah. It was fun. But I loved working with you in that. And it was interesting to see you work and your passion. And like, we did a whole walk-in closet in 3 hours.
Girl.
Like, that is insane.
Part of the time I'd come out and I'd be like, I'm like,
you were
like, oh my gosh, you're huffing and puffing. I'm like, well, it's just a lot and I'm moving really fast and we got to get this done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you were working your tail off.
Yeah.
And we were too, but not
Yeah.
like you were, because you were doing the heavy lifting. We were just taking stuff off hangers.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier.
And making decisions. That's a big,
true.
that is an emotional, big hang up for a lot of people.
Yes. And you say your clients often have struggle with, do I pass on this item because is it out of style? And so it was neat for me to be part of that. Of course, it was my best friend, so it was a lot easier.
Right.
And I could be like, no.
And more fun. No. Much more fun. I'm like, she did not just say that to her. I'm listening in the other room and I'm like, wow, okay.
I told her to invest in better shoes. I really fussed at her.
That was awesome. I'm like, okay.
That didn't make it to the reels, though.
No.
I didn't feel like me fussing at my best friend needed to be on the internet for the rest of eternity.
Right.
God's probably looking down on me like, you are being judgmental. I am going to convict you right now.
That was so fun.
It was fun. But what I learned is, one, you're really good at what you do as well.
Thank you.
And like the passion that you bring to that. And I think there's a misunderstanding about how much something like what you do costs.
Yeah.
It is much more reasonable than me expected.
Yeah.
And then I was really impressed with, you didn't like try to reinvent the wheel. You didn't take Sherry's closet and go, oh my gosh, this is just horrible, and try to make it your way.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted it to be the way she utilized the space.
Yes.
And so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to sit down with you on the pink couch, because tell me, when you walk into somebody's space, like, what does that feel like in your brain?
Well, it's hard for me to even focus because I want to see everything. Like I'm visually noticing everything, but we target one room or one area at a time, because we also have that, oh, look at the squirrel. Oh, look at that over there. And we have to stay focused if we're going to finish, which you saw that in action with the closet, but we have to stay focused. And so this is the room we're going to get done today. And so we tackle that room. The other day I was with a new client and we were unpacking her, and she had piles, kind of that when you get everything unpacked and then you're just down to a couple boxes here in the living room, and we were kind of doing the common area. And there's this pile here and this pile here. And she was just overwhelmed at that point and had no idea where to put stuff. And so I'm like, okay, tell me about this. Well, that's stuff for when I travel. Okay, do you have a travel basket? No. Okay, where is the rest of your travel stuff? Well, there's some in the bathroom, there's some in the closet, and okay, and tell me about this. And it would be, well, that's for the cleaning. Okay, where are we going to put all your cleaning supplies? Well, there's some under the sink, there's some in the laundry room, I've got some in the garage. I'm like, okay. And so one of the super helpful things.
Do all people do that? Because I feel like as you're saying that, that's how I am. Like, I have cleaning supplies in several places. Why?
All the people that need us do that.
I definitely need to. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, because I do. I'm sitting here like, yeah, there's a shelf in my garage. There's a place in my laundry room. Mm-hmm. I have tons of stuff under my sink. And then there's stuff upstairs in the kids area too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's like Clorox wipes under the sink in the bathroom. Of course, I'm not talking about that. But, your carpet cleaners in some random bathroom cupboard upstairs.
Mine's in my laundry room.
Yeah, so it's all
you're
over.
Right. That doesn't make any sense.
So one of the helpful things, of course.
So not everybody does that. That's just the people that are targeted needing use. I love it. Okay.
Everybody else has,
everybody has a system.
My first aid is in my first aid basket. Like the whole house, all the first aid is in the first aid basket. All of our.
Nowhere else. They're not in your youngest girl's bathroom. No, it's all in one spot. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And all the travel stuff is in one travel box, one basket.
Like luggage?
No. Like the neck pillow, or the little tiny containers of toiletries, or, the little laundry bags, because I don't want my dirty clothes. Well, this is personal now, but I don't want my dirty clothes touching my clean clothes inside my suitcase. Sure. So I bring the laundry bags, so things like that. And my packing list. Yes, organized people do have lots of lists.
I
So
do not make lists.
I have lists.
I mean, I make lists for work.
My packing list.
I do not like make lists in my real
so
life.
it's all together. The sound machine, everything that.
You have a travel sound machine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, I do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We just use our phone.
That's
technology.
Yeah, don't do technology. Just plug in, push a button. So all of that stuff being in one spot. So guess what? I am going on a trip next week, and so I started packing, and so I get out my travel basket, and it's huge, and I started going, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. My little container to pack my jewelry in. That's everything's there. So then when we come home, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got to unpack. Yes, all the dirty clothes go, but then all the travel stuff goes back in the travel basket, and it gets put away until the next time you have to. And so there's none on the kitchen counter. There's none in a drawer over here. There's none. Everything has a place. If something doesn't have a place, you create a place for it, label it. This is the place. And so like medical or spa or pain relief, like that little neck massager and the heating pad and some little patches and some cream and all those. I have like a tennis ball and a sock, for my neck. And, so like I could sit there against the wall like a dog and like be like, oh, fix this. I have a knot right here. All those things. It's in like a medical basket. It's all together. And then when I need something, I can find it.
So where does this basket live?
Well, we bought our house for the land, not for the house. I have zero space, but there is a kind of linen closet type thing in my bathroom. And so the
little tote fits in that closet. Okay. So we started this with when you sit with clients, what I hear you say is you just start asking them questions because it's not about your systems. It's about how they live.
They have to be able to utilize what we set up when we leave. If they don't, just like Sherry with her closet, she's saying, I've kept it up. Well, she vowed before we helped her, she just does not have time to organize. And so that's why everything's on the floor. And that's why I just don't have the time. And showing her, actually, it takes more time to not be organized. Hanging up this pair of jeans on this hook after you wore it and it's not dirty, you just want to hang it back up, takes a lot less time than digging through your 80 pairs of jeans that are on the floor that you want to rewear again. But you have to dig through them to find
It wasn't 80. It was, what was it? It was 70 something.
Yes, it was only 70 something.
Or something crazy like that. I was like, holy smokes.
I think,
how does one person have so many pairs of jeans? Well, her closet was huge though.
She has an amazing closet. I'm totally jealous. I think we eliminated hundreds of pounds.
We did.
Of items from her closet.
You took it to donation.
Man, I was sweating. It was 105 degrees that day, and I'm lugging all these bags to my truck, and I'm just like, it is so much.
Yeah.
It's just the weight, like physically, actually the weight of everything.
She was the perfect candidate, though.
It was amazing.
Because her closet, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. And I told her, I said, seriously, I've been friends with her for a really long time, and I've never seen her closet. Yeah. Like, she's never let me in her closet. Yeah. I saw it before she moved in when it was empty.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really know, but I also knew I don't care because so many people's closets, to me, it's so relatable.
Yeah.
So many people have that
and
closet because it closes.
Yes.
The door closes, and then you can move on about your day and go do the fun things. And the closet's not fun
because we're moms.
Unless you're Keri.
Because we're moms, we take care of everyone else first. The closet represents that. I found all kinds of things that had absolutely nothing to do with her clothing or shoes or accessories in the back of that closet.
And she has a huge attic.
Yes.
Like huge.
And
so there's no reason some of that stuff couldn't go.
It's not hers. It doesn't belong here. None of this is needed. Like, where did this come from? It's because we just stash things
and move to the next most important thing.
Yes.
Because the closet is, do you find that with most of your clients that are women? Do you have male clients?
If their husbands line it up, or the husbands hire us to help their wives because their wives are
overwhelmed.
So usually in every marriage, there's always one that's strong in something and one that's not, because opposites attract. I mean, that's just science. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to have one spouse that is really wanting to be organized and the other spouse that is really struggling. And so when they get help, when they let themselves be helped, it's actually so free. Just like with Sherry. Mm-hmm. She's like, my husband's going to love this. My husband's going to love this. Because obviously he was the one that was, probably more bent towards being organized. And so now he gets to enjoy, like, I can walk in because they do share the closet. You know what's funny is one of my organizers, because I send them the reels, and she's just like, I'm so glad you clarified, because when I first saw his side of the closet, I was like, oh, Keri would never leave a closet like that. What's going on with his
Isn't
side?
that funny?
And I
didn't even
mentioned,
notice his
yeah, I
side.
mentioned, by the way, the husband side is off limits. You know, we're just doing that. And I mentioned that because, yeah, his does not look how I would leave it if, you know.
But it wasn't that disorganized either.
No, but it's not how we would leave it.
Sure.
But also just for time's sake, we had to stay focused on, because her amount was just huge.
She had a lot of clothes. She has a really big closet.
But the neat thing with Sherry is she was such a quick decision maker. So everyone wants to know, well, how long will this take? Well, how long? Nobody will work faster than we do. The really,
you
the
did
time,
work really fast.
And my whole team is that way. The time factor is based on how quickly you can make decisions. If you need to tell us a story about every purse that we put in front of you, then we are going to be here for days. If you're like Sherry, like, oh, no, I don't even know where I got that from. And she's just super quick and not emotionally tied to things.
You can do it in 3 hours.
It can be super fast.
And then you're even more affordable.
Yes.
Then they only pay you and your team for 3 hours worth of work.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it really is about the decision maker. So as we age, if we have elderly that are needing to move out of their home and downsize, then it takes, you know, that's definitely a slower process usually, because.
What do y'all call that? The senior, I saw something on social media about it.
Downsizing.
For seniors. Because it's a different process and you have to be more ginger and kind and just appreciate slower the stories.
Yeah. And then, and usually it's the adult kids hiring us to help their parents. And so explaining, like, I know that we're on a deadline to, you know, get this house up for sale or, you know, whatever, but we also need to adjust for the emotions of this. So there's all the, or we help, our favorite, we love helping teens, because it does not matter how many times mom says, clean your room. They're not going to do it. And they have no desire to work with you but then also, if being organized isn't your natural bent, then how are you going to help them organize their room and clean their room? Just telling them, go clean your room is not, I could tell you, go clean your garage. That's just not fair. You're not you specifically, but someone's not going to do it. They just don't know how. It's just way too overwhelming. But we're all moms. And so when we get to work with a teen that's at first having an attitude, and then you start, you know, we know how to talk to them because they're not our kid. So we can talk to them. And then we just start helping them. And then they just realize they can create their own space and they can have this. And and I never thought of that. And and then they keep it.
Because it was their way of living. Yeah. Everybody lives different.
Yeah.
So the answer to the question about what is the most common thing you see is really, there isn't a most common. It depends on the person that you're working with.
Yeah.
And how they live life.
Yeah.
And that kind of interview process that you go through at the beginning of a project.
Yes, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's personalized. No different than what I do. Like, people want to know when I'm styling. Okay, but I mean, certainly there's highlights, and we'll get to your highlights, but it all depends on your body shape and your proportions. And like for you
and what your job is.
Well, yeah. But like for you have a really long torso. And so your proportions are different than that somebody else that's more equally proportioned. So I'm going to tell you it's even more important to tuck in your shirt than someone.
I now tuck in my shirt.
Good job.
Oh, I hate it.
Your sister sent me a picture the other day and she told me she looked so cute and she was using some of the tips that she learned. And I was so proud of her.
Yes.
You look so beautiful. Your 9 children.
It's
amazing.
Amazing. She's my hero, my little sister.
It's amazing. Okay, so let's get to what are the daily habits that moms can do to keep organized. Because like me, I'm not naturally organized. I do have some systems, but my children mess it all up. Like they put up the dishes every day now, and I have a baking cabinet, and I have a glass dishes cabinet, and I have a Tupperware cabinet. Like I tried to do really basic categories of, they don't keep it. They just, and it drives me insane. But I'm waiting, and I talk to them because I can't find stuff. It doesn't, whatever. So it's like, fight with them for every single day that they do their chores, or just deal with it. So what do I do?
Well, for me, like when they'd load the dishwasher and then I'd look at the dishwasher and it was like terrible. And like nothing's going to actually.
You have 3 kids.
No, 5.
You have 5? Why did I think you only had 3?
We have 5.
Okay, 5 kids. Okay, wow, that's a lot.
So I would look at the dishes, and if I know they can go in a little dirty, that helps the machine. I've heard all the things, but this amount of dirty, this amount of dirty, no, you need. And so I would have them reload it, empty it, and wash them, and reload it. Same with you go in to check if they've cleaned their room, and they just put everything under the bed or hid it in the closet. Sorry, that's not clean. Redo it.
No, I mean putting them away.
Yeah,
the dishes away.
Yeah, so if they didn't put them in their categories, then go pull everything out that's not in the right category, put it on the counter, and say, sorry, your chores aren't done until you put this away properly. It might seem really military or really rude, or they're just not going to do it. Well, you're paying the bills, and they get to live here, and it's your house. And the bottom line is, we have 4 older children, and then we have our 6-year-old. All of my kids, 18 to 20, they're 18 to 25, and every single one of them excel at their jobs. They literally rise to the top. They become management before they're even old enough to be in a management position. They fought me the whole time growing up, but they all know how to work, and they know how to do it right, and they know how to do it good. And so you're instilling that organizing. And guess what? They leave their rooms filthy. It was always a fight. One of them, she always had, she go in and eat at midnight or whatever. And I'd come, because every night when I go to bed, the kitchen's clean, everything's nice. I'd come down the stairs, and every cupboard in the kitchen is wide open. At like 5 a.m, I'm looking at all my cupboard kitchen doors open when they were not open when I went to bed. And guess what? In her own apartment, do you think she leaves the kitchen cupboard open? No. I look at her, I'm like, how come all your cupboard doors are shut? And she's like, why would I leave them open? I'm like, you left mine open every night. And she's like, yeah, I don't do that. So even though they don't do it, well, because she's out of the house. It's not her, it's her place now. And she does keep it clean. Even our son. I'm like, so like, how clean? He's like, it's perfect. It's never messy. And I'm like, why did you do that when you lived here? That's just, but you kids. Taught them. But I did. And I didn't let them. And I had, friends and stuff. They'd just be, oh, I don't want them. I want them to just enjoy being kids. They would clean up after. And I'm like, you're not helping them.
I agree.
When you are cleaning up after them. Now, here's the thing though. Again, you can't tell them clean your room. And as they get older, they need to do it on their own. Clean your room when there's just way too much stuff. It's not their fault. And so
all the presents and grandma
and every single birthday and Christmas, and then they're just the fun things, because you want to get some fun new things, and it's too much stuff. And so just like you get overwhelmed, just like Sherry was overwhelmed in her closet, she can't keep it clean. You can't keep your garage clean. There's just stuff everywhere. Same for them. And you've just got to purge. They will play every single time we do a toy room. The kids play in that toy room for endless. When before it was like they just never even want to play in here anymore. They just
because the energy was just so overwhelming.
There's not even a place to like take a basket of things out and play with it because there's just so much stuff everywhere. You get rid of 3/4 of the stuff in there, and they're going to be way happier and way more entertained. And if it's hard to let go of some things, then you kind of put it on a rotating. We got a few bins in the garage that we'll pull out and rotate. You don't need a lot, but honestly, just find a great place to donate to. Our church has a foster closet, great things can go there. There's all kinds of places.
Here in Georgetown, there's the Caring Place.
Yes, you can find great places to donate to. So now you're teaching your kid, you've had a chance to play with this. Now we're going to let somebody else play with it.
I also let my kids sell some of the stuff. If it's a really good toy.
Absolutely.
And we posted it on Facebook Marketplace. And then I, like my little one had a Batman. It was practically like a Batman dollhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a nice toy. And when he outgrew it, he wanted something else. And I said, okay, sell the Batman playhouse, whatever, Bat Cave, and then you can free up the money to get whatever new you wanted. And it was so cute because he took pictures and I posted it for him. And then when a mom would comment and say, or contact me and say, would you take this? I'd say, okay, would you take, $30 or what? Mm-hmm. He'd be like, no, it's worth more than that.
That's awesome. That's great.
But it wasn't really, it's been an interesting lesson.
Yeah.
And teaches them how to sell and things like that too. So, okay. But mom daily habits. So what I hear you say is, if I have systems in place, I'm not enforcing them as mom.
Mm-hmm.
If they're making it a mess and I'm allowing that to happen because it's my home.
Yeah.
Okay. So tip number 1 for moms is keep the systems in place.
Yeah, and have your kids do it. And of course, this is all dependent on age. But the other thing, what was really hard for me when the kids were all little was the house had to be messy during the day because they're going to play. And it was so hard. But you can't just run around behind them. I wanted
This is
to.
wasted energy.
Yes. But at the end of the night, they help, and you do the let's clean up and the little songs when they're little and everything. So they help clean up. And then, of course, as they get older, they do things on their own. But then as my chores before I go to bed, I am taking 30 minutes and I'm doing a quick sweep of the house and I'm putting things away. I'm starting the dishwasher. I'm starting the load of laundry, turning the dryer on, picking up the little things, putting things away and not allowing piles. And
So
honestly,
every single day.
It will overwhelm you if you don't do that on a daily basis. I don't know how any other way to, if you wait until the weekend, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
If you just 15 minutes, depending on your size, it just a quick pickup every single night. Yeah, it cannot accumulate until the weekend. Last thing you want to do on your weekend.
And a working mom is going to say, but I'm so tired at the end of the night. I don't want to go pick it all up. I would rather do it.
And the more that as the kids get older, well, you should. I mean, my favorite phrase, I was just talking about this at church last Sunday. My favorite phrase was, I am not your maid. I am not your maid. I am your mother. I'm not your maid. I'm not your maid. Over and over and over again. And so if these kids know how to push buttons on an electronic, they know how to, guess what's also electronic? The wash machine. And so my kids have been doing their own laundry since they were little.
Mine too.
They know how to push buttons on a tablet. They can push buttons on this wash machine and they do their own laundry. Like it's just, and so, they're old enough to help you. You're not their maid.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Are there any other things, daily advice that you give to mom? So hold your categories in hold that.
But you can't keep those things in place and do a quick pickup unless everything has a place. So you gather, I don't care if it's I have this one, bless her heart. I have this one client where she got one of these rolling carts and she goes around, puts everything in the cart. I'm like, oh my goodness, the vision of you in your bathrobe, just going around with this rolling cart and picking everything up. It cracks me up. But a basket is something you put everything in and now you're going to go put it away. It's only quick to put it away if everything has a spot. So the sunblock goes back with the sunblock. The package of Band-Aids somebody got out and left out goes back with the Band-Aids. Every single thing has a spot. It is a very quick pickup. If things don't have a spot, it's just going to go on the counter. It's just going to go in this drawer.
Okay, so then let's talk about the stuff on the counter. So like as a mom, I know I'm not the only one. My kids come home with so many papers from school, so much artwork, so much this, so much that. Like what's your advice?
Well, for the 6-year-old, so different ages mean different things, but for the 6-year-old, now she's taking out her own lunchbox, her own snack bag, making sure they're empty and putting them away. I'm going through the papers in the folder, and then she goes off, and then I go, trash.
You throw it away immediately.
Immediately, and then hang the backpack up on the hook so it's ready for tomorrow. We're not rushing around in the morning trying to find the ballet outfit or the taekwondo outfit or the backpack or where's my lunchbox. Oh my gosh, that's where it takes way more time to not be organized than to be organized. The papers, okay.
So like what about the keepsake papers?
So moms might step on some toes here, but when you turned 18 or started your own family when you were older, did you really want your mother-in-law or your mother to bring you bins and totes of all of your papers that you ever made and all your memories and like, okay, roll up the garage door. We've got 10 totes coming in of all of Johnny's stuff. And you're just like, what is your mother doing? They don't want it. And so I have one box. I actually had found a local mom that, kind of those trendy little, these plastic storage things, and they have hanging file folders, and then they'll put like a name, and it's like 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. So I got this cute little one, a local mom that made that. And so we have enough papers for kindergarten that fit in that little hanging folder, and then 1st grade, and that is it. And so when she's 18, she gets one file box, and that's it. Okay, all these papers that you're putting on the fridge and that you can't get rid of because it's so cute and stuff, she doesn't want them. Like, she's not going to want them. Your daughter-in-law is not going to want them. They're going to resent you if you give them all those things. And so
I remember when I first got married, my mother-in-law gave us a bunch of Christmas ornaments, and she did it out of kindness because she's thinking you don't have a Christmas tree and you're forming a new family and da da da. And my first reaction was, I don't want your memories. I want my own memories.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds really harsh and mean to your point, but yeah, that is exactly what I thought. I don't want your old Christmas ornaments. One or two, okay, because then my husband can go down memory lane and reminisce. But for the most part, as we're decorating the Christmas tree every single year, I want it to be about us.
Absolutely.
So you're saying it's the same thing, even with school artwork and
a few that are super special, and basically having limits. It keeps you from, okay, it fits in this, and so that's how many I can have. Kind of like I brought this.
Yes.
So I actually have 2 of these, so don't be concerned. I don't have only one. But like, if my jeans can't fit in 2 of these, then I have to get rid of some. That's the limit. Now, I love different kinds of containers for different people's spaces. Sherry has an amazing closet where she can hang absolutely every single pair of jeans on a hook, and it's just to die for. I don't have that. So for me, I don't even have dresser space to have all my jeans. So these things work great, just cheap on Amazon, but whatever works for you, but that's what I'm limited to. And so after that, I have to make decisions on because I mean, I could go 3 months without doing laundry and I will still have not probably gone through 2 bins of these. Like,
that was really funny when we were clearing out Sherry's closet and you started doing the math.
Yeah, I'm like, you would not have to do laundry for a year and you would still not go through all these t-shirts. Like, let's be real. Do you not do laundry? If your washing machine broke and you didn't have a washing machine for 3 months, you are nowhere near running out of t-shirts. Like,
so do you really need another one?
Yeah.
Is the rest of it? Because I think you're right. I think so like, I'm teaching confidence for women. You're teaching minimalism.
Yes,
like, your life is busy and crazy, and you're a mom and you're responsible for all these humans, and we add to it by buying too much.
And then you cannot keep up with the laundry. You cannot possibly, for busy families, when they're in sports and they're just running from thing to thing, you can't possibly keep up with that amount of laundry because then, just like for you, if you put something on and you don't like the way it looks, you're going to take it off. Well, your kids do the same thing. And so they take it off and then it's on the floor. Well, now it's like, we don't know what's clean and what's dirty because she never actually wore that one, but now it's on the floor. So then it's just, we got to wash everything. It's just too much.
Which just adds more too.
Way too
I've
much.
found that my customers, because I have some customers that their joy is buying clothes. Like, it's just, they just love to shop. They love to buy clothes. They love the style that I bring into the store. So they shop a lot. But I have learned through the years that they also have a system to purge.
Yes.
So you can totally be somebody that buys and has a new Easter dress and a new Christmas dress and da-da-da-da-da. But you can't, if you always want a new Christmas dress, you can't have 10 in the closet because you're not going to wear those every Christmas if you buy a new Christmas dress.
And the reality is, we're women. We may not be that size. Like, it's not going to fit, or it's not going to be, something's changed and we're not, so let it go. And also find a great place to donate to,
or consignment if it was a really nice dress. Or I sell a lot of stuff on Poshmark.
There you go. That's technology. So you have fun with that. I'm like,
funny.
No.
But I guess the point there is there's a system. So there's a system to how to organize your house. And then you keep those boundaries set by all the people that live in your house. And then as you bring in more, you also have to have a system to get rid of the other. So it's like a moving organism that has to work together. Otherwise, we all become hoarders.
Yes. And it always needs attention. It is not like, okay, so I did that. We will set up someone's pantry so that it's all Instagram looking and beautiful and it's so fun. And we go back 6 months later and it's not anymore. And that's not necessarily because they're not organized. It's because they're busy. So, when we're doing a pantry, there's no packaging. Like, we take everything out of the boxes, and you can see through the containers.
I actually prefer to take everything out of the boxes, though.
Well, it's actually,
then you know what to buy.
Yes.
When I go to the store, if the granola bars are not, because the kids leave empty boxes.
Yes.
So if I glance into the pantry and there's 4 boxes of granola bars, I think we don't need any granola bars.
Yeah, they're all empty.
They're all empty
Yeah.
because my children are children. And so, but if I force them to take it all out and I have this little thingamajig, if the hole, this little holder, if the hole is empty, then I know we need granola bars.
Well, and there's this new thing we've been getting some calls on to come help with pantries, because there's this, you know, I'm not a native Texan, and I do know
I
about,
know you call them cupboards. I was like, we don't call them cupboards.
What are they called?
Cabinets.
Oh, cabinets. Okay. Well, when I take my buggy at HEB, I
don't say buggy.
Yes,
that's old people say buggy. No, we don't say old people say buggy. What do we say? Shopping cart.
Don't tell my friend that.
No, that is not a Texan.
Okay.
No, I'm a native Texan. We don't say. I think my mom's generation says buggy.
So, where was I going?
I don't know. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. So we've learned about these things called Texas moths that are happening.
Oh,
and so
those
it's
big bugs.
Yeah, so it's not just airtight containers, but it's a specific kind, because you know the expensive brand of airtight containers, those actually they can get through. We just have learned.
Oh,
yeah, and so there's this cheaper brand that snaps that is actually much more what they cannot penetrate. But one of the things one of my organizers learned is they can even come in on packaging.
Oh, like the eggs are in the, you know what? They're in the cardboard.
Yes, exactly. And so we have discovered
and we get so much cardboard at home than we ever have before.
Yes. And so what I used to just have my rule of no packaging and no cardboard, because aesthetically it looks much better. Now it's actually, wow, okay, so it's not just about that, but these Texas moth things that we've been helping people with. Yeah. And these are people that like have their house cleaners, have their house perfect, and somehow these found their way in, and they're really hard to get rid of.
And they're ruining their clothes.
No, this is pantry. They're pantry moths.
Pantry.
They're pantry moths.
And so they're just eating flour and stuff?
They're little, but with little. Yeah, it's really there, and it's not. It comes in, and so that's why part of it is the packaging.
Oh, so that you're saying, so pantry. That's another reason to take things out.
Yes.
To not leave those, because they live in the cardboard. I can say that with how much inventory I get.
Yeah.
The cardboard, yes, it houses.
This is just new to us. Like this last month, we've had a couple calls for this, and we're like, what is happening? So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got our mom tips, daily habits. What I heard you say is just give yourself 15 minutes every day.
You have to
clean up before you go to bed.
You have to maintain. And also, a lot of our clients are busy working families with kids in sports and everything, and if you don't want to do this, then there's services, just like people get their laundry done and they have, the house cleaner. This is a service, maintaining is a service we offer. Because if it's not your natural thing, go do what you're best at, and the thing you hate, then hire it out for help, because I guess that's a real big point, is I'm supposed to work out, eat healthy, take care of the kids, look nice all the time.
Have sex with your husband.
Exactly. I mean, well, I'm not complaining, but
seriously, like you got to spend the 15 minutes and then clean it up after.
This,
and then you got to go in the bedroom and go. Yeah, and it's like I'm just tired.
There's just so many things we can't. And then it's like the kids' sports, and I forgot to get the uniform, and I forgot to do, and then I've got to volunteer for this. And it is literally.
And then Chanel told me to tuck in my shirt.
I know. And my boots can't be this kind and that kind. And I'm like, I can't keep it all straight. I'm going to die. So,
and you're not eating enough protein either.
Oh, yeah, there's never enough protein.
They're putting protein in everything.
Oh, my goodness.
It's in everything.
So there's just so much to do that we can't possibly do it. So there is no shame in getting help for the things we don't know how to do. I don't do computers. I don't know technology. So I'm not ashamed that I do zero marketing for my business. And Chanel's like, can you please share this and collaborate this and do this? And I'm like, I have no idea what any of that means.
You did great.
Well, because I had somebody else, honey, what does this mean? He's like, oh my goodness. And so he's like, accept it. So I don't know how to do certain things. And rather than feeling upset or unhappy with myself because I'm so terrible at this, have someone that's great at it do it. And I'll stick to the things I'm amazing at. And I think for women, that's just really, really important. You don't have to be an amazing organizer. I'm not a great cook. I cook a couple things that are good, and once I've had you over for those couple of recipes,
Then you're
I'm
done.
never having. We're gonna have pizza the next time because I showed all my cards. That's all I got. But honestly, I don't want to even let people know if I can cook because then I'd have to cook all the time, and I don't want to cook. But I love to organize, and so I'm just gonna stick with the things that I'm good at that give me energy, and not feel guilty because my husband does half our cooking or more, and that's okay. Like I don't feel
That's
guilty
why you have
about
a
that.
partner.
Exactly. And he's really good at it. And his food tastes so much better than what I make. So why not?
Okay, what is the funniest, most unexpected thing that you have found when you've helped somebody?
G-rated?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because
I don't know. Maybe it can be
we have a
X-rated.
whole bunch of things, but that should not be shared. So things that are G-rated is less to choose from.
You're making me think like, whoa, okay.
We have found
some
we have found many things that are not for this podcast.
Maybe that's a different podcast.
I'm not lying.
Subscribers only podcast.
I'm not making this up.
The secrets of the home organizer.
Just for real.
You're not even blushing.
No,
like
it's
that common.
Oh yeah.
To find these crazy things. Oh, I love it. That's hilarious.
I think that the most is just never trust a container because not everybody buys fancy urns. So you just never trust
the ashes for dogs and humans. Okay.
Yes, never trust a container because you'll open it and be like,
and then someone's like, "Oh, that's my grandpa."
I'm not joking. Never, because it's not just in fancy urn-looking type things up on a mantle.
So when you train new employees, are you like, and by the way,
yes, always just open every container with a little bit of like what's in here, and then don't sneeze. I'm just saying.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the appropriate one that I can tell.
Okay. I like it. I really do think maybe we should do the subscriber only podcast.
I would need my whole team here and we could go for hours.
So hard.
We could go for hours. In fact, once they watch this, they're all going to be like, so when are we going to do that?
Just make a list. We don't forget any of the crazy.
Oh, we could. Yes.
Oh, that'd be great. Maybe we should add that to the list. Okay. I don't know. Your husband may not think that's a good idea for his brand.
He's a pastor.
Okay, what 3 tools do you use personally in your life that you cannot live without? Only 3 for your home organizing, whatever it is.
Baskets.
Like what kind of baskets? Like, do you call this a basket or a bin?
This is a basket.
Okay.
Bins, I think of like more that Costco, like the plastic with the lid, like a bin goes in a garage. So baskets. You know what? We tell people, because everyone's like, well, what do I buy? What do I buy before you come? And I'm like, we can organize you in shoe boxes because this is a big deal. I think that there's this retail taking advantage of women who are not organized by showing them all these organizational tools and getting them to buy them. I don't care how many organizing tools you have that people have sold you. If you don't have systems and it's not naturally how you are and you don't know how to set them up, you can have you can have a whole room of tools. And my team and I, we talk about this and it's not going to do you any good. They are not going to make you organized.
It's kind of like Sherry with the laundry basket with the lid.
Beautiful baskets or laundry baskets.
Container.
Hampers.
Yes. And she wasn't using them at all because it had a lid. And she's just the kind of person that if it cannot be seen,
we're not going to use it.
So that obviously, that was probably like $100 laundry.
Beautiful.
It was wooden or something.
We replaced it with $10 cheapo plastic laundry hampers.
And she's using them regularly, religiously. Yeah.
So definitely baskets. However cheap or however beautiful and expensive, it doesn't matter. It's a container to put a category in. You need categories. You need to be able to put things away in categories so that you can pull it out when you need it.
Okay. So that's number 1.
Baskets is definitely number 1. I would say number 2 would be the labels. Because like in my closet, of course, I live in a very teeny tiny house of like no space.
What year was your house built?
In the 80s.
Okay.
And it has not been remodeled.
Okay.
And so
does it have the 8-foot ceilings and everything?
No, actually, we're very lucky
nice.
with that. They custom did it. So no, it has taller ceilings, but in my closet, I have a couple shelves way up there. So I have these beautiful baskets, but if I don't have labels on them, I have to get every single one down. So labels for those baskets. And then a third one, I mean, I guess I'd have to resort to containers, not baskets, but because I don't like packaging. And part of it, and you'll see in the video with the closet, is at the end, when you have extra space because you've purged and you've downsized, you have extra space. So now you can use that space to actually decorate the keeps with. So if I have to keep these hats or I have to keep these purses or these shoes, then I'm going to store them where I can see them and kind of use them to decorate. And so you're able to take that extra space, decorate your keeps with it. So also, and they can be cheap, go to Goodwill, get some plastic or glass containers, but like all my dishwasher tablets, they're all in a cute little clear plastic glass container thing under the sink. Does anyone see it? No. But when I open my cupboard to get a dishwasher tablet, it just makes me really happy to see how pretty they look instead of the dishwasher tablet container plasticky thing. Mm-hmm. And so in the laundry room, there's the little I add baking soda to all my towels, to make them not smell musty. Or so it's in a cute little container with a little scoop, or the little dryer balls. They're in another little plastic glass, usually whatever I've got container, so that you see them and it all just looks like the laundry room.
But it's all functional.
It's all functional. I don't have space to just have, it not, yeah. So I decorate with the things I have to use. And so those glass vases or those glass container things and all those and all sizes, just go to a thrift store and just get whatever is cheap and then just get rid of all your packaging, whether it's granola bars or little bags of chips for the kids that go in a basket so they can see them, or it's your little whitening teeth strips, they're in a little jar on the counter so you can see them, but get them out of the box. Or it's the little hydration packets for your water bottle. Take them out of their little box they come in and put them in a cute little glass canning jar that you can see.
And so when you get home from Costco, you're undoing all these things. Yes.
Packaging, everything comes out of the packaging.
Everything goes to recycling, packaging wise. Yep. And then all the innards go in these pretty little containers that you've collected at thrift stores throughout the year.
And then it just makes it also pretty. So it's something I like to look at too. Mm-hmm. It's not because anybody else will ever see it. Like nobody's going to look at my little whitening tooth strip things in my bathroom. It's just for me. It makes me happy.
Sure.
So
if you were stranded on a desert island, you would pick baskets, label maker, or labels and containers.
Mm-hmm. Clear containers, glass or plastic, clear container. The Epsom salts, take them out of the packaging and get those little scoops, and
the scoop.
There's the Epsom salts and then there's the bath bombs and there's a little rolled up towels. And
I decorate with my toilet paper even.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. You have to.
Because then you know how much you have.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I've learned that if you take the toilet paper out of the, like the Costco pack, mm-hmm. and you take it out of even the individual packs, then when your teenagers and young adult kids come over to visit you, it's harder for them to load up taking toilet paper with them instead of, if it's all in a package, they just grab the whole package. Bye!
Put in the back seat.
Yeah. But if it's like, they're like, do you have a bag, Mom? This is kind of awkward. I'm like, well, how much do you need?
Let's just go to Costco.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add? Because I think we could probably talk for a whole nother hour.
We could. I did write notes. You have a
look at you. Look, she's got a list. I actually have a list too.
We have. We mentioned your holiday clothes. Mm-hmm. Putting them with your actual holiday decor, mm-hmm. so that they're not lost in the closet.
We loved that.
Like Sherry had all these fall t-shirts and things, but she was not even ever going to wear them this fall, and it's fall right now because they weren't. But when she goes to get all her pumpkins out or all her Christmas decor out, there's a bag of her holiday clothing. So
very smart, very smart.
Yeah, I think I covered it.
I would say Sherry told me this week, I followed up with her, mm-hmm. Or she followed up with me. She always calls me because she has to travel different high schools throughout the district. Mm-hmm. And so she calls me in her travels. And she told me that the jeans hanger that you had her buy is her favorite thing.
Good.
That just hooking them from the belt loops has been so much easier than having to fold them or put them on a hanger. And as I'm telling you that, I'm looking around my store, and I prefer the jeans to be on hooks as well in the store, because people shop them. So it's interesting when you do merchandising in a store. I've learned through the years, the more things that I have folded and perfect like you have here, the less people will shop them, because women don't want to mess up your organization. And I'll be like, it's fine, go through the t-shirts, it's fine. I mean, I don't want it to look like Ross, but it's okay. It's just because I didn't have enough room and I needed to fold these. But I will say that when they're hung and like the jeans, like they're on hooks, people shop them more. It's more inviting.
But I had you send photos before we went there so I could tell her to get those, because there are other people, and I hang the ones that I do hang. I actually hang, and space wise, because I don't have but I take the time because
you like the creases.
Well, no, I love organizing. So for me, when I get the laundry and I'm hanging everything has to match. It has to go. I take the time because that's enjoyable to me. So I'm hanging the pants with the normal classic pants hangers. But when I'm seeing the photo of her with all the pants on the floor, she is not going to take time to hang pants like that.
So interesting.
So it's knowing what they are wanting to do.
So she asked her husband, do you want me to get you one of these hook things? Because it's so helpful and handy. And he said, no, I prefer to fold my pants in half and put them on a hanger. So yeah, everybody's different. And even in their own closet, they're different. So it's really interesting. I will say, in my closet, it doesn't bother me to fold them in half and hang them like you would see in the store. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's fine.
What people have time for.
It's what your life is. But she was like, I really like that small little system, keeping those off the ground, like especially the jeans. Jeans are the worst because they're not dirty after one wear. Unless you did go, to the park or run the dog or something and got mud on them.
Or, just stepped outside when it's 100 out and then it's like you're sweating. All I did was go outside.
Heat stroke. Or a hot flash.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think we covered everything.
Oh,
thank you, Keri, for taking time out of your busy day to
chat.
Thank
you for having me. It's just fun, and I got to sit on this
pink couch, and hopefully it helps other Sweet Lifers and inspires them. Because that's the point of the podcast, is inspiration, knowledge, and it's not just about clothes. Because what I always say in my business is, yes, I sell clothes, but it's actually not about the clothes. It's about the people. And the stories that I get to hear when people come and share. Like, I've met your family, and now I know your sister and your mother and your niece. And that is... Yes, it keeps me going to style by shape and all that. It's amazing. But it's hearing like all the things that go along in life, because you're wearing those clothes in those things, that's what keeps me going.
Having an organizer in your home is very personal. Like, it's your space.
Sure.
Right?
Because you feel judged.
And which to us, it's like a playground. Like, please never ever feel embarrassed. Like, so many people, when you have to clean before the cleaners come, like, you don't have to do that. Like, the whole point is we are there to help. But then we get to know, and so we have so many maintenance clients. We have so many people and once they have, even though the entire team is amazing, once they've had that one organizer, their first, then that's who they usually always just book unless some's not available, because you build that friendship, you build that relationship. So going back to like the pantry, 6 months later, of course, it's not going to look like how it was when we did it the first time, and it shouldn't. You're a working, moving family, an active family. So having maintenance and having that, can you come in, touch up the pantry, touch up the laundry room, touch up these areas? We can do that once we've done the house. Like, we've taken care of the house, and now...
Because you know where everything goes,
We know where everything goes. And then at the end, it's like, okay, so I found these extra things that have accumulated since the last time we were here. So what do you want to get rid of? If we're going to keep these things, what do we get to get rid of? And having fun with it that way. But just getting to know people and it's an ongoing thing. It's very, very, very rarely just like someone coming and buying one shirt and you never see them again. You're constantly now.
It certainly happens.
You're hooked.
You certainly, some people do just buy one shirt, but like, I agree. It's the relationship. It's the client building. me knowing you have a wedding coming up,
Yeah.
and maybe you didn't buy the dress here, but I can still help you find a dress.
Or
And-
like, oh, I love that, but what size? You're going to know what size because you know them, and then you know the
brand.
fit of the everything. So same thing.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
That was so fun.